we're looking at the political dynamics or switching of camp here and there and some of the intrigues going on in one of the political parties. To help us delve into all of this, I'm being joined by Dr. Lemmy Ughebe, a civil rights activist. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
I really don't know where to start. Now, for one who fights for accountability, who advocates for transparency, would you say the Nigerian political space has seen any level of accountability and transparency? I mean, in the face of the movement we're seeing right now.
Well, generally, you would say that the average Nigerian politician, those virtues are alien to the average Nigerian politicians. The average Nigerian politician does not want to be called out to account for his acts, for his deeds, or for his promises. And that's rubbing off on the political space. We have people who are defecting. Yes, there are circumstances that you cannot rule out that will make it germane to defect. But again, when the defection is moving from the opposition party straight to the ruling party, it tells you that the average Nigerian politician is a food is ready politician. They are not ready to build the opposition. And no democracy will thrive if the opposition is not built, if the opposition is not strengthened, if the opposition is not allowed to function.
But you do know that I mean, for instance, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has accused the ruling party of deliberately orchestrating this movement from the opposition parties into the ruling party by interfering, by creating stumbling blocks here and there, even legal battles to that extent.
Well, why you cannot dismiss the allegation made by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and several other people? Almost every politician who is not in the ruling party is saying the same thing. You cannot dismiss it with a wave of the hand. There is some iota of, truth in it, but you would also know that the reason it's so easy that the ruling party is successfully luring or negotiating for opposition party members to jump ship and join them is because, again, most of them are just politicians who are guided by the principle of stomach infrastructure. Lots of them cannot just survive in the opposition. They were in the ruling party at that time, PDP, which ruled for 16 years. And so it was a good time. Now they are meant to be in the opposition. They cannot even stay 4 years in the opposition. So it's again about the quality of the average Nigerian politician. Okay. Because look, nobody can really turn your, tear up your structure or your house, come ransack it and mess it up if there are no willing people within the system. So you find that the people who have helped to actually weaken the opposition parties are still members of the opposition party who are, members of opposition party in daytime, and at night they are members of. In fact, now they are no longer hiding it. Somehow they just even want to announce very easily that they belong to the APC because that is where their bread is buttered.
While some are still in their political party, but declaring support for the APC.
Yes, and all of that stems, and specifically we are talking, we know one who is the minister of the FCT, very a performing minister, but of course is neither here nor there when it comes to political alignment. He's totally sold to the Tinubu second term elections.
But let's leave the political parties themselves and come look at the electorate.
Yeah.
What's the mindset? What do you think is the mindset? I mean, you are a civil society person, so of course you talk to the electorate quite often. What's the mood of the electorate in all of this movement? I mean, we told two stories earlier. in Jos Plateau and then in Imo State. People who, one was a civil rights activist in Imo State, says a civil rights activist, one that advocates for good governance. But he has moved down to the All Progressives Congress.
What's the mood of the nation? What's the mood of the masses? What's the mood of the average Nigerian? Nigerians are still traumatized by the quality of the elections conducted in 2023, general elections.
2 years after?
Yes, they are still traumatized because, one, there's not been admission by the leader of the country, the president, that something was wrong with the elections. It's my candid view that the president and commander-in-chief ought to have taken a leave from late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua, who was candid enough, who was humble enough in victory to say the elections that brought me in were fraught with irregularities. He therefore flagged off electoral reforms, but of course, that took him, at the beginning, he didn't even stay long. We know, I argue it, that yes, it is possible that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have won that election fair and square. It's possible. But I think that the conduct of INEC of that election actually robbed him of the joy of a more, well-conducted elections. It robbed him of, no matter how he tries to shake it off, you cannot argue it. Nigerians were depressed for weeks. Yes, those who support the current president were excited, but generally we all knew the truth that you cannot conduct two elections the same time, the National Assembly elections and the presidential election, and the INEC chairman at that time had made all promises that they were going to, IREV was going to work, they were going to upload elections results real time. It was only when it came to that particular day that they could upload the National Assembly elections and the presidential election was not uploaded in the name of glitch. They were held the same time. And so the uploading was just as you are casting your vote is supposed to be running. So how come glitch held the presidential votes the vote I cast for the president while it allowed the ones for National Assembly? Look, that election was tainted. And because the president has never been humble enough to and forthright enough to admit that, and because he has not, we have really not done anything about electoral reform. We are supposed to make the issues of IREV, the issues of election results being uploaded real time ongoing right to now. Make it. They are ongoing. Where is the National Assembly? When are they going to go through the process, then pass it and get the president to assent? Remember that Buhari, at his own way, Buhari of blessed memory, when it was his turn, when they had passed it on to Buhari at his time, he said, look, this was too short between the election time, and now that you are bringing it, we will not. When will this National Assembly finish the process? So these are the things that dampen the morale of the Nigerian people. They believe that there is an institutional conspiracy not to make votes count, and that is the concern. And so I want to think that there will be even much more apathy, especially given the fact that we are just seeing that opposition parties are just crumbling as packs of cards. The ruling party is strengthening. Legal logjam for PDP, ADC is fighting to survive and all that. And we do not have the electoral laws yet to strengthen it. By now, we should have gotten the electoral law reformed and passed. So it leaves you, except you are just being very Pentecostal, that look, with the speed of lightning or with the speed with which they reversed the national anthem, they could do that. But the electoral reform is such a serious matter that it takes time, it needs time. And we do not have that time. And we do not also have a president with the will, the political will to say, look, today, if the president goes to the polls with the votes counting, the president has been able to win a lot of other support. Where he did not have support before, he has a lot of support from those bases. Then he has how many governors already? Some are still looking for how to come over to. So why don't you reform it so that if eventually you win a second term, it will become something of joy. You will have more joy in winning in the manner you will win this time than what we had before.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Lemmy Ughebe. He's a civil rights activist. Thank you for coming in this evening.
My pleasure.
Thank
you.